Hey guys, Trickshot726 here, and we are back for another behind-the-scenes / director's commentary video for Avengers vs. X-Men. That's the video that that most people voted for this week, so that's what we're gonna do. Hulk vs. Wolverine was a close second. But yeah, this video is gonna be more of a director's commentary like the last one, just because it's older and I don't have as much of the original footage, but I can try and walk you through some of the stuff I did. It's a lot. I made it 3 years ago, so it's a lot rougher, and it's not going to be as polished as some of my newer things. And I was still learning some of the effects and tricks I did now, but there's a couple of cool things in it. So we're going to start off by mentioning one of the most common questions I've had asked on this video, which is, why are so-and-so and so-and-so on the team, but not so-and-so and so-and-so? So I chose the teams that I did for this video because there are hundreds of people who've been X-Men and Avengers, and both, that I could have put on either team, but I chose to do these ones because these are the figures I had at the time, and the ones I thought would be the most interesting. I purposely kept Hulk out, and Black Panther, and Falcon, and, well, Spider-Man's kind of in it, but you get the point. It could have been a lot bigger, but I decided to keep it this with, 12 people total. So anyways, we're getting that out of the way. Yeah, so now we're going to start the video. It starts off... there's a lot of references and jokes. This one that I'm going to explain. The laser effect for Cyclops was not polished, as you can tell right now. Wasp is flying. I did that with fishing line, I think, or invisible string. You can kind of see it a little bit in there in some of the frames. But I didn't use Photoshop for that or anything yet. That was really difficult. You can see the shadow of my hand in the background on some of those things. And then for the intangibility effect, I had an idea of how to do it, and thankfully it worked out, and it's still the method I use for right now. But it looks pretty good. I've used that in this video and then in the Mutant Pride one with Kitty and Iceman.
Oh, come on, that's not even fair.
So we've got Bucky versus Wolverine, Cyclops versus Iron Man. So this is like the beginning of the ice effects that I used to do, or that I do. It's gotten more polished as it's gone on, but I just used paint, just Windows Paint. It's pretty easy. You just do a couple layers of paint, a couple layers of ice on top of each other. But yeah, that's how we do that. We've got Yellow Jacket flying. Colossus knocks him out. That Colossus I actually got from a contest by 4star918. It was the first contest I entered, and I got 4th place, I think, and I won that Colossus. So thank you to them. It's a really cool figure.
Does that count as a between the eyes?
That arrow Hawkeye used is a custom arrow that I made. I've got a couple of them. I don't use them as often anymore just because they're a little bit bigger than the ones that came with the Marvel Select one. But I have them. Like, I've got like the putty arrow and the one he just used, and then like a grappling hook arrow and a couple of them. I just used a what is it, like a wooden dowel, I think, and then some Sculpey, and then painted them and heated it up so it stays that way. But they're pretty nice. I might use them again in future videos if I need Hawkeye to use a lot of trick arrows. Oh wow, some of the effects on this, or some of the effects and lighting on this are not that good. But oh well, you live and learn. Yeah, there you can see the string on Wasp. And then I didn't know what to do for sleeping effects at the time, so that's what we did. And there, Hawkeye uses kind of a poison gas arrow, but the effect for it wasn't that good. I don't know if that came across well. I think one thing that I've improved on since the beginning of this video, or since this video, is making big fights like this spread out, so it's not all clustered and everything. Like a Fantastic Four versus the Sinister Six, and Avengers versus Ultron, and Avengers versus Master of Evil. The fight spread out more, so people have more room to fight and they're not all stuck in the same area. But anyways, the good thing I saw with the icing problem is a joke to Iron Man 1, where he was trying to fly up really high in the stratosphere and then his suit froze up and everything like that. And then for that, I just, same thing with the ice, just reverse it. Instead of building more up, just take it down and put some warmness over it. And then he shoots it, it goes through Kitty, deflects off metal, or Diamond Emma Frost, and almost hits Beast. And then this is my favorite part of the fight, where, oh, nope, just kidding, not yet. Iron Man fights Colossus. Alright. We're almost there, I think, to my favorite part. That's all I want to talk about right now. Alright, so when Kitty's fighting Bucky Cap, that part was cool. That 2-second clip. That was another one of the first things I was trying out with Intangibility, and I think it turned out well. One thing I noticed, though, is she should have broke his arm, since his arm is made of metal, and she goes through metal, it disrupts it and makes it like malfunction and everything. But oh well, you know, it's not that big a deal. So we have Beast and Hawkeye. This part I feel like I also need to explain because it wasn't done that well. So they fall down. Hawkeye chokes Beast out with his bow, but then Beast pretends that he's knocked out or something, and then he surprises him and smashes Hawkeye's head against the wall. Again, not the best choreography or way to do that scene, but whatever. We're cool. I feel like that's what most of this video is going to be. Me explaining why I did something, not how I did something. Thor knocks out Colossus. And then Ant-Man, or Yellow Jacket shrinks. There's the car again. I told you that car's in like every video. I feel like this fight could have been cooler, but oh well. You live and you learn, you get better as you go. That scene where he's got his legs pushing off, or that shot, that took way too long. I remember that. I don't know why I remember that specifically, but it took me like half an hour to get that like 1 second shot. And Iceman freezes Yellow Jacket to the building. Again, that was done in paint. And he does like an earthbender move, kind of. He makes a giant ice pillar. And Iron Man falls into a building. And that was a Mary Jane figure as the waitress. Hang on. Yeah, right there. And then all the food that Spider-Man, Human Torch, Franklin, and Ben were eating was little erasers that you can find right before back to school shopping. So that's where that came from. That desk was built out of little wooden dowels and a wooden picture frame I got at the hobby store. Then I just put them together like that. And then the chairs I got at Target. They were actually supposed to be phone holders, but they were like $1 and they look like chairs for action figures. So that's where I got those. And then the inside of the building is just the brown brick pattern with pictures and stuff on it, with the printed off inside of a coffee shop. So that's where that came from. Do you have any shawarma? Freezes Thor's arm. So he's like weirdly posed. So Iron Man blasts Iceman. Thor gets his hammer back because the ice isn't there now, I guess. So then Kitty phases through the building. Bucky should be dead right there. He was getting double teamed by Beast and Wolverine. And then that was a reference to Captain America, the first Avenger. What's our plan of attack? Reference to the Avengers. Then Cap versus Cyclops fight. I'm trying to remember if there's like any choreography that I took from anything. I like how everyone's just pawning off reviving Wasp on someone else. And then we have like heat rope arrow, I guess. Whatever. And then Thor I think he killed Colossus right there. Beast might be dead. And then for the blood effect there, I used Red Sculpey, but I don't use it that much anymore. Just because I don't think it looks that realistic for blood. I like the effect I used in Hulk versus Wolverine a lot better, but that was like 3 years later that I came up with that idea. So anyways, that's how I did that. I do like how it looked on Wolverine's face though when he got hit with the explosive arrow. It looked pretty good there. And then Kitty jumps through Iron Man, and there it disrupts his suit, knocks him out. Wasp grows to normal size. And then Emma mind controls Hawkeye to shoot Wasp. But Thor stops her from using her mind control powers. So he hits her, but it doesn't do anything. And that was his last arrow, so it's kind of useless. For Giant Yellow Jacket, what I did in a lot of earlier videos is I just put him closer to the camera, like in this one and in Avengers vs. Loki. He's just really close to the camera. I didn't really make him photoshopped bigger. But yeah, it's a pretty easy trick, and it can be useful depending on how you frame the photo. But it works for some cases, but I think photoshopping it makes it a little bit easier. And then we have Marvel Girl show up. Alright, so then she knocks out Wasp, and then you used invisible string here for when she's getting Hawkeye. Then Wolverine says the exact same thing he said to Bucky Cap when he took him out. I think that was an error on my part, but whatever. So it's Thor versus the rest of the X-Men. Takes out Wolverine. And then Marvel Girl catches it. I don't know if she can actually do that, but she did that here. And then Kitty sneaks up from behind, under the floor, sticks her arm through his chest, and they smash him into the wall. Oh yeah! So that was Avengers vs. X-Men. I feel like I should do an alternate ending or a updated version of that fight, but I really don't feel like doing that right now. I am considering doing X-Men versus Magneto fight for next year, but that won't probably happen until the summer, because I have a couple of other fights that I want to do before that, and who knows how long that will take. So hopefully I can give the X-Men some justice, or do some justice towards the X-Men, because they haven't really been utilized on my channel that much. I've done like 1 or 2 X-Men videos, but not that many. And I think I should do a little bit more. At least an updated Cyclops versus Captain America or something like that. So hopefully that we'll have that going forward. This fight, it's alright. I understand why some people had their issues with it. But I feel like a lot of it was also just, why isn't so-and-so on the team? And Avengers should have won, but the Avengers have won like every other fight I put them in up until this point. And so I wanted to have a change of pace, because otherwise people would be complaining, the Avengers win everything, why didn't the X-Men win? But you can't do you can't please everybody. So oh well. Like I said, this video is going to be more of a director's commentary than a behind the scenes. But I hope I did show you guys some tricks that I did in this one that you can use in your own videos. But let me know what you guys want to see for next week's Trick Shot Tuesday. I have a feeling Hulk versus Wolverine is going to win because that got really close. That or Avengers versus Masters of Evil. I believe I do have more original footage and stuff that I can show to make it more of a behind the scenes for both of those. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next week. Have a happy holidays.